Hello everyone, this is Michael Getz, and welcome to the Hometown. Over the last few weeks now, we have received a lot of calls, people asking us to get a new show on, and although I'm kind of flattered, I think I ought to take this time to kind of explain to people what's going on. I should let you know that, I'm not doing this because I don't care, folks. I'm not doing this because, I don't mind. I want you to watch the same show over and over again or whatever. The bottom line is here, I'm doing it kind of by myself with a few volunteers, and it just makes it really, really difficult to keep turning out shows. Nowadays, since, I've been struggling with the city and all that kind of stuff, and I'm on the blacklist, I've just, my financial income has come to a halt, and has been for some time now, and so I'm kind of in between places. I don't really have a place, I'm kind of staying with friends or whatever, and the truck or whatever I can come up with, and don't have a phone. In fact, even my fiance's phone is going to be turned off this Monday. So it'll be about the last, contact I have with people that are watching the show. So here I am. That's why I'm up here today. I wanted to come up here, get something on the air, explain to people what's going on, realize that I'm not, trying to be rude, but there's more to this than most people believe. With that in mind, I'd like to explain a little bit of exactly what has been going on. Since February '92, almost 3 years now, we've been doing this show, the Hometown Public Access Show. When I began this, I realized that most people don't have any idea what it is. They don't understand that it's basically a channel. There's a head-in, they call it a studio here in Carrollton. You can bring a videotape to, use the studio, go right out to your community on TV, and that is powerful, and I have believed it since the beginning. However, I found that as I began to use this, that it was very difficult to use, and there weren't the resources allocated that needed to be allocated. And so I began kind of a crusade to try to get these things done. Now, when I did it about first year and a half, I was, happy with what I was doing and going around, doing my thing, broke, but, happy, and nothing ever changed. So I decided that I was going to kind of use public access TV to, make my point, so to speak. And what I did was an investigative report on the city and the cable company. Now, there's been some tension because of that, even though that was in June '93. I don't think we've ever gotten over it. I ran for mayor, and of course, nobody paid you for that. So the combination of all the above in the last year or so has just completely driven me out of house and home. So nowadays, my fiance, staying with her sister here soon, and I'm kind of in between. So I wanted to let y'all know that. I want you, to understand what's going on. I mean, I care about this, and I can't stand to see a show go as long as it goes, and I can't stand to see it as low quality. I want to do better, but, until things change, I can't. So I want to explain what's going on. Today, I'm here at the studio. This is a good studio. TCI has been doing some things. We've been raising some heck, and they've responded. They've got a public access coordinator, Gaston, here. Seems to be doing a good job. The studio has been upgraded. These are all things that were in the franchise agreement, but nobody ever, forced them to do. Now, my problem still, though, is with the city. I mean, it's unusual that my own city, the city of Carrollton, I would have problems with, but they're not. I think this is threatening to the city. I think it's a fundamental change in the way government is made. I think that it's a breakdown of information. It allows other people to go straight to the community as opposed to having to be filtered or wait for the newspaper to come do a story on your plights. And in this case, we've gone right to you and told you what's going on. So I'm asking, again, still, the city to do something about their obligations to this community in the way of communication, specifically public access TV, what you're watching right now. Anybody should be able to use this. The cable company's kind of done their thing, but the city still hasn't come through on those marketing ideas that they've had. I know that Stan Hampton and Bernie Francis, they've been, out there kind of banging that drum. I don't know if they're just not able to get some support from the right people or what's going on, but I just don't see nothing happening. I see a lot of talk for years now and nothing happening. And so although the cable company's doing something, the city still is, in my mind, just talking. And it might get some people elected, and you might be able to get in the newspaper and that kind of thing, but for people like me that are out here trying to survive, I kind of feel like my city's let me down. And that's a hell of a damn thing to think about if you grew up here. I got to tell you, in my mind, my own city has run me out of my house and home. I mean, that's my government. I mean, it's gone beyond not helping you. It's gone to the point of becoming personal where they just don't want you to succeed and they do their best to run you out. And that's terrible. That truly is. So there's going to be some changes still coming. We're going to keep doing this show, and you can expect to see a lot of coverage on City Hall. You can expect to see us with a camera around City Hall. Not breaking any laws, no intentions of going to jail. But the idea is we're going to start finding out what's going on. And I hope to be able to work together with the city on this. I know there's some good people up there, but somehow, some way, you guys are acting like you got something to hide, and that's wrong. And that don't do nothing but turn the journalists' blood pressure up, and I want to get out there and find out what it is. So hopefully the city will go through with hiring a public information officer. They'll go through with making a mayor's hotline. They'll go through with the bulletin board service. They'll go through with their ideas of marketing the city and establishing two-way communication so that people at home can know what's going on, can be participating, at least through the technology that we have, be participating in their own community. I mean, there's almost 90,000 people. You can't meet them all, but if a few of them go on TV, you can connect up with a lot of them. So you can get in tune with what's going on in your community. And that is what I'm trying to do, folks. I have a real need to do something in this community. I grew up here. When my dad died, I kind of felt like I needed to do something. So I felt like communication is the key, and the government is the one holding it back right now, and it needs to stop. So again, I appreciate everybody watching. Please stay tuned to our show. We're going to do our best. If you have videotape that you want to get on TV, I'll help you out. Now, the cable company's doing pretty good. Gaston, those people are here in case you want to come up here and let them, you can piece together, do your own TV show for free. You can do your own TV show, but nobody seems to. But if you have videotape, you want to get on TV, you can send it to us. It costs no money. The idea is I'm just trying to make every means available for our community to be able to communicate and talk or whatever. But my address is up at the Pack and Mail at Josie and Frankford. It's 3030 North Josie Lane, Suite 101-157. So if you get to send us something, we'll try to work it into the show, and we'll see what happens. But other than that, we got, the lawsuits coming up. Kevin's over here reminding me. He's been wanting me to tell everybody. If you've been following, you know what's going on. I have talked some time about doing the lawsuits. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a regular person, but I'm also broke, so I haven't been able to afford an attorney. So I've filed now 5 lawsuits. And I tried my best to try to talk the city into just, getting in line, doing their job, whatever, and let me go on about my life. But, I ain't seen it yet, so I'm still pushing on. So these 5 lawsuits, although I've made press releases and everything, we haven't got much news coverage on it, which kind of annoys me if you think about it. There should be more news coverage, There can't be just a few channels covering Carrollton. They don't even come up here. They're from Dallas. Carrollton don't get much news. But either way, all right, I'll tell you about these things. First lawsuit is for $28.9 million, and it's against TCI. And basically, as everybody knows, they censored our show for 289 counts whenever we did that investigative report, and then they put it on and said, okay, we're sorry. So I'm happy they're changing, but still we're going to have to work out that little deal, because that ran me in the ground. That destroyed my reputation when it came to, people knowing what was going on. They just thought I was some radical person up here doing something wrong, maybe some nudity or something, but I wasn't. I was telling it like it is, using my free speech, and the cable company shot me down, and I ain't going to take it. So we have in court a lawsuit now for $28.9 million that I formed informa pauperis. That's lawsuit number 1. The second lawsuit against the city of Carrollton for $200,000 for their failure to enforce the franchise agreement that I see and provide public access TV, although I have countless documentation of them saying they were and they should and all that kind of thing, but nobody ever did. And also I got a report from the city that they did, cable committee did, that says basically it was politically incorrect to believe that the council would make decisions based on that franchise agreement. So I think the city has failed to protect the rights, the free speech rights of this community, and I think monetarily they destroyed me and ran me in the ground, so that's going to have to change. So we got a $200,000 lawsuit against them in court filed, informa pauperis, which means I'm broke, so I ain't got no attorney. But now the third lawsuit is also against the city, and it's for $200,000. And it is basically for not providing least access television. I mean, public access wasn't here, it wasn't happening, whatever, but if I could have had least access television to be able to do my show, all those people that wanted to advertise and people coming to me trying to throw money at me for their tea products and for their oil additives and for these other type of things that I just couldn't do because of the limitations of public access, and I do believe in those limitations. We don't need advertising like it is on regular TV. But I tried to use least access, and the cable company never provided it, still hasn't provided it. City, although I've documented sending them letters after letters after letters, city hadn't made them provide it. And the city's franchising authority, so I'm suing the city for $200,000. That is in court. Informa pauperis. So now the next one, the fourth one, that one, I guess, I don't know how people feel about it, but I'm suing the Dallas Cowboys for $1 million, and that one's in court, and that's filed. And the reason is because they discriminate against public access TV. It turns out that, about a year ago or so, I went up there to Cowboy training camp to do some interviews after calling on the phone, explaining who I was and asking when I can come down, getting an itinerary, going down, tried and doing my show, doing a regular news conference, and we were selected out and told to leave on camera and told never to come back, and they don't recognize public access TV. This is a free press society, folks. The reason that is because, I guess somebody a long time ago realized that you don't need to be putting information in the hands of a few people. We don't need to be given like a pass or an ID card to a reporter like you would a doctor. You need to have free speech. And now the technology has changed. There are more people on TV. It's not just 4, 5, 8, and 11 no more. They need to open up the doors, and I'm going to sue them. I have. It's in court now, and it's for $1 million in form of papyrus against the Dallas Cowboys. So the last lawsuit, if my friends at the Metrocrest newspaper are all watching, we got you in court. We're suing the heck out of you, $1 million. As everybody remembers, there's been a lot of writing in the Metrocrest newspaper since I began this, talking about what's going on. And I got to tell you, and I'm really trying to be impartial on this, but I just can't in this way. They painted us in a negative way all the way through this thing. I mean, they have leaned to that every chance they got, and I have even got on record some statements from the paper saying that basically they're trying to be politically correct, and that's, in my mind, it's slandering me purposely. And when they wrote that story about me being disqualified as a mayor's candidate, I mean, I still talk to people after that were saying, "Oh, it's too bad, Mike, that you got out. They finally got you." Well, they didn't. I wasn't wrong. I never was disqualified, not for 1 second. The city didn't verify their facts. They told the newspaper, and the newspaper printed it, and it sat on the newsstand for a week while they were trying to figure out what to do next, and they ended up doing a little bit of retraction. It wasn't anything of interest, but that's a mistake, folks. That's irresponsible journalism, and I think that's going to have to pay. And we're suing them for $1 million, and that is in court. And my own attorney. So now I'm not sure. We're trying to get all of these cases with some TV coverage. We're bringing our own cameras, that kind of thing, but not all the judges and all that are kind of happy with this kind of coverage. So we're not sure if we'll be able to get into court on all cases, but you can bet that I will give you updates as much as I can get in here with the camera and tell you what's going on. We'll do our reports from the court building outside. We'll interview our witnesses. We'll play this out like the O.J. Simpson of Carrollton here, and nobody got hurt though. But the idea is we're going to give you a lot of coverage, and we're going to let people know what's going on and get them involved. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Am I on? Are you like rolling the camera around? Okay. Well, we're not on. We're on this one. Look. Look. There it is. There it is. Hey, this is Steve Cox over here on our camera. One of our viewers doing a good job, man. We're understaffed today. We got one camera person, 2 cameras, 1 switcher, and a good public access coordinator. But the rest of my crew couldn't make it. But the idea is, folks, I'm just out here doing my best. I know it's not always polished. I know it's not always this or that. But listen to what I got to say as much as you look at the picture, please. I'm talking about some real fundamental changes in our community, some things that are really going to make a difference. In my heart, I believe it 100%. I'm talking about lowering the crime rate, lowering unemployment. I'm talking about making differences in people's lives. And it's going to come through basic communication, getting people involved, letting them know what's going on in their community, figuring out ways to get the private industry tied together with the nonprofit industry and meet the needs of the community without spending taxpayers' dollars. For instance, Bee's Kids. I want to say hello to Bee Salazar out there. I know she watches the show. And that's a great little organization. And if we had like a food drive, some of the banks out there are sponsoring her. The banks get all that publicity doing good public service work. Bee Salazar gets some help feeding the kids down there in South Carrollton, and the government didn't have to pay any money, so your tax dollars didn't go to it. I think those are kind of good ideas. But I still have not seen anybody in the government do anything about it. So we'll wait and see what happens when election time comes around. I've been kicking the idea around about possibly running for council, but I ain't going to make that decision yet. I got to be able to have a place to live first that don't have 4 wheels on it. But all right, so I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna roll some more videotape. I got some things I want to get out. I know I taped a while back, and everybody's raising all kinds of heck about the old programming. But I got to buy videotape. I got to be able to have gas in the car. I got to get out to the location. I got to know what's going on in the community. Those are all things that I'm just out of right now. So those at home, send us some videotape. You got something? I'll work it in the show. That'll allow us to turn over some programming. And other than that, again, please keep watching. It is very important because a lot of things are going to be happening, and we're going to. Oh, what?
Like public information officer and those sort of things, and
Yeah.
marketing the city.
Well, my assistants helped me out with the text here. We don't have a teleprompter. As you might know, this is all winged as we go along. I think we went over it quite a bit. The idea was Kevin was mentioning to bring up the city and the fact that they haven't, been talking a lot but not doing much. And even though they're saying they're hiring a public information officer and a bunch of other things, they haven't even really done anything. But we'll see how it goes. All right, what is it, Kevin? What now? Budget proposal, what? Oh, yeah, the budget. Everybody right now, the budget's being considered, if you have an interest, you want to know where your money's being spent, call 466-3003. That's the city manager's office, and he'll, I'm sure, help you out or somebody there. I hear they have a voicemail now, which is kind of cool. Call 466-3003 if you want to find out about the budget, the City of Carrollton budget, specifically like where the money's going, how much it is, how it's going to affect your life. I should tell you, of course, we submitted a proposal for the Metro Television Network to be able to do this kind of programming and finally get some kind of funds for it. But I don't necessarily say that the city's got to spend that money, but I just know that we got to continue what we're doing. Somebody does, and we're the only ones out there right now getting it done. So anyway, again, I'll sign off. Is that cool, Kevin? Everything? We got everything? All right. I want to thank my people for coming down. Kevin Bennett over there switching it and working as floor manager. Steve Cox running the cameras. And again, Gaston is the public access coordinator. He's been doing a good job. The studio looks good. Make sure you use your public access system. Make sure you get involved with your community. And as much as I hate to say it, read the newspapers because there ain't nothing left but the Metro Crest News. And you need to know what's going on in your community. And get involved. I'm Michael Getz. I ain't got no dang telephone number no more. And I know my mom's gone crazy. Everybody calling on the last show, the Lionhead Spring show. And we appreciate those calls. I don't know what to tell you right now. You can try to leave a message with Dan Johnson. It's 466-3003. I'm sure he'll let me know. But other than that, I'm without phones, folks. And my electricity is about to be turned off at my fiance's house, which was the last place that I even had to live. But and she's going to be living with her sister. And, of course, we're expecting a child, and so it's been some real interesting days. And I don't take any of it back, though. I've done some good things. I stood up for what I believed, and things have changed. I'm ready to go on with my life, but not until we get some things changed at City Hall. I'm Michael Getz. You're watching The Hometown. We do appreciate you staying tuned. Coming up with some videotape. We're going to be on in Highland Village soon. We're going to be on in Denton soon, and Dallas, and a couple other smaller places. So we'll be able to stay tuned and tell your friends. We're going to be out of Sneaky Pete's and Ocean Club. If you get a chance, talk to these people. They're wondering whether or not, they want us to come out and shoot and stuff like that, and they don't think anybody's watching. So if you're watching, please, give these people a call. Say hello to them and let them know that there's people out here watching The Hometown. That's Sneaky Pete's up in Louisville and the Ocean Club over in North Dallas by Prestonwood Mall. So I appreciate it, and I'm out of here. Take care. Good job. And we can cut.